What's your take on amalgamation, past and future? You're good. I like it. All right. As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be at the coming of the Son of Man. As it was in the days of, parallel text, help me. Lot. So shall it be at the coming of the Son of Man. What was it like in the days of Lot? Sexual promiscuity, right? Sexual impropriety was at the order of the day. And at the end of time it will be as it was in the days of Noah. And then we have a little bit of an explanation. It says people were eating and drinking. Obviously that's a reference to excess. Having no control whatsoever over your appetite. Marrying and giving into marriage. I think that was a reference to Hollywood. Do you think that? Do they do marry a lot? No regard for anything sacred. That's what it's about. No temperance, no nothing. And also all this reproductive impropriety. Question: do we have transgenics today? Yes or no? Absolutely. We have transgenics. We have transgenic pigs. They were permitted and were created for human consumption, by the way, because by splicing the gene for human growth hormone into a pig, you can change the growth rate and the way in which fat is deposited in the pig so that you get a mega pig which is lean and has a lower ratio of fat to meat, which is what you want. But unfortunately, because of the changed growth parameters, you have a deformed creature. And the legs are not capable of bearing the weight, just as my sheep weren't able to bear the weight. And you also have gross distortions in the skull and high probability of infections, particularly sinus infections and respiratory infections. So they have to be treated with antibiotics from the moment of birth till the end so that you can have a nice lean piece of pork on your plate. We even have transgenic tomatoes with human genes spliced into the genome of the tomato. You have transgenic genes of virtually any creature that you can imagine today. Do you think that the antediluvian world, with its tremendous brain capacity, was not as advanced as we are? If you look at what the esoteric world teaches, then it becomes even more fascinating. The esoteric world speaks of the great civilization of Atlantis. What do they say happened to that great civilization? It disappeared under the sea. You know, that's fascinating to me. Why don't we have more fossils of humans and things like that? Humans were probably city dwellers, as it was in the days of. They were probably city dwellers. Spirit of prophecy says there where the evidence of the flood is the greatest, there was the population of man, because there the wrath was poured out. Where do we have the greater evidence of the flood? On land or under the ocean? The canyons under the ocean. Are they larger than those on land or smaller? Much larger. So I would assume that that antediluvian world is buried deep under the Pacific or wherever. And what we see is just what is the tip of the iceberg. That's right. We have just a little piece. Enough to base your faith on or to hang your hooks of doubt on. So, yes, they had the technology. The esoteric world says we would want to discover the secrets of the antediluvians. There are some that say that this great race to go to the moon and to discover what's on the moon and on the other side is perhaps a race to pick up some of the lost technology of the antediluvians. Because if we could get there, they surely got there. Maybe there's something there. And it's fascinating to me that in the space race, it's only the esoterics that take part. You have to be a high-ranking Freemason or a high-ranking Mormon in order to go to space. So there are all kinds of circumstantial evidences. Yes, I believe there was amalgamation, and I believe God destroyed that amalgamation, and eventually He will destroy it again.